Okay, first of all, I know the history behind the WNBA. I know that both of those cities have had teams before and they got us where we're at, so I'm thankful for that.
The WNBA standout Cunningham, who is renowned for her fiery energy and audacious nature, recently made a startling admission that left Caitlin Clark and fans globally dumbfounded. In a startling turn of events, Sophie revealed a significant update on a baby that nobody anticipated, provoking countless queries and frenzied conjecture on social media. The basketball community was giddy with interest as soon as the story became public. However, what precisely did Sophie disclose? And why was Caitlin Clark so unprepared? Let's explore this unexpected tale. The WNBA was both stunned and inspired by the news. Fans knew Sophie Cunningham as the Mercury's feisty competitor and relentless hustler, but she was discreetly delivering news unrelated to playoff runs or three-pointers. Sophie was getting ready for a new chapter in her life behind the bright lights and away from the thundering roars of the crowd. No stat sheet could ever fully convey the weight and significance of this chapter, which she had not disclosed to the public. Sophie and Caitlin Clark had a private conversation about life in general rather than basketball. Her admission demonstrated that, despite the unrelenting seasons, athletes continue to prioritize their humanity while balancing relationships, personal development, and fresh starts. It was a poignant reminder that life never stops, even for experts, rather than a dramatic story to make headlines. Just as important as Sophie's declaration was Caitlin's reaction. She didn't respond like a rookie sensation attempting to meet unrealistic standards. As the league's face under the scrutiny of critics and cameras, she remained silent. Rather, she responded merely as a friend. She was ecstatic. Her assistance came right away. She said, "You don't have to walk through this alone," while listening and grinning. Being present, being human, and supporting someone she loved and admired were more important to Caitlin than being a superstar. When word ultimately got out beyond that private discussion, the response served as a reminder of what sets the WNBA apart from other professional organizations. Instead of shattering the locker room or becoming a distraction, the news made individuals closer. Among the first to offer words of support were rivals, athletes who typically compete against Sophie on the court. Openly celebrating, teammates shared love, humor, and enthusiasm for the next adventure. As supporters, they turned Sophie's news into a celebration that extended well beyond the game by posting sincere words, sharing personal tales, and lighting up social media with an avalanche of love. These kinds of moments are uncommon in athletics. They serve as a reminder that the WNBA is more than just box scores, highlight reels, and intense rivalries. It is fundamentally a family, a community united by more than rivalry. While players may engage in fierce competition during games, they celebrate each other's successes off the court, both personally and professionally. They know that behind every jersey number is a person with dreams, struggles, and milestones worth honoring. Sophie's tale serves as a reminder of the essence of the league and goes beyond an athlete's statement. The WNBA displays humanity in addition to talent. And we witness why this league is so important to so many in those quiet, impactful moments where life and sport collide. What was the response of Sophie's fans to the news? Were they pleased, taken aback, or critical? More than just basketball, let's explore the specifics of a phone call that halted spectators in their tracks. The news began as faint murmurs on the internet and quickly erupted into a flurry of responses. At first, a lot of people thought Sophie Cunningham's update was a standard off-season message about recuperation, training, or a personal endeavor. However, it became evident in a matter of minutes that this was no typical announcement. It was about something much more significant than timetables or statistics. This was more significant than basketball. This had to do with existence itself. Despite playing through the highs and lows of the WNBA season, Sophie had been keeping a secret. She knew just who she needed to call first when the time came to share it. The new face of the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, was on the other end of that call. A new star who had already won over fans nationwide. But titles and the glory didn't matter right now. It had nothing to do with Clark's increasing prominence or the lineup of the Fever. It was about two female teammates who were bonded by something stronger than basketball. That day, Sophie's voice had a distinct weight. She wasn't discussing conditioning exercises, defensive matchups, or even the Fever's future. Rather, she shared a personal truth that has been near and dear to her heart for a long time. For Sophie, Sharing this went beyond simply informing someone. It was about welcoming Caitlyn into a completely new phase of her life. And Caitlyn's answer? Fans would later characterize it as authentic, unvarnished, and unforgettable. When she learned about a colleague, she didn't respond like a celebrity. She responded as though she were a sister or a friend who recognized that real lives were going on beneath the league's flashy lights and jerseys. For Caitlyn, the call was about standing by someone she loved and admired in a pivotal moment of bravery and vulnerability, not about the next playbook or practice schedule. And that's what made this tale so captivating. It was more than just a basketball storyline. It was larger, more accessible to fans, and more human. It dispelled the myth that professional athletes are isolated from the joys, challenges, and accomplishments of daily life. They actually have the same feelings as everyone else. They are friends and teammates, daughters and sisters, women navigating successes and failures with the same uncertainty we all encounter. For Sophie, this meant taking a risky step into a phase of her life that she could no longer conceal, and about accomplishing so with the help of a colleague who demonstrated that compassion is just as important as physical prowess. It became the kind of tale that fans couldn't stop discussing because it served as a reminder of something important, not because of three-pointers or stat lines. Even if athletes' performances may motivate us, what really unites us is their humanity. Given that she was not known to be in a relationship, many followers appeared perplexed by the change. How could she become pregnant? Let's explore the specifics of her romantic life. Sophie Cunningham's guarded love life. Sophie Cunningham has made mystery a kind of art in her private life. She is one of the most captivating players in the WNBA because of her fierce, tenacious, and infectious energy on the basketball court. She exhibits the same charisma on social media, sharing celebrations, behind-the-scenes photos, and moments that give people a glimpse into her life. However, Cunningham draws a sharp curtain when the topic turns to romance. Her admirers have been captivated and perpetually intrigued by this harmony between transparency and concealment. There haven't been any indications of a partner for years, nor have there been any mysterious tweets on X, tagged photographs on Instagram, or soft debuts that typically generate excitement among fan communities. Fans have received nothing but quiet instead. Loud, purposeful quiet. When Cunningham was connected to Jacob Nedig in the late 2000s, it was the last time anyone could confidently point to a relationship in her life. Nedig was more than a colloquial moniker. He was a multi-sport athlete who played basketball and football, and he appeared to share Cunningham's spirit of competition. Sophie herself stoked rumors in May 2020 when she proudly shared a picture of Nedig sporting her shirt. For supporters, it was a daring declaration that he was a member of their universe. However, that plotline vanished as fast as it had emerged. Updates regarding Nedig vanished after 2020. No confirmations, no captions, and no lingering images. By 2021, the relationship seemed to have vanished from the public eye, leaving people to speculate as to whether it terminated amicably or just went underground. In the years that followed, the quiet only grew more profound. It was amazing that there was no romantic trail for an athlete who was so public in this era of continual sharing. Sophie's fame has grown much more by 2024. She was becoming well known for her daring play, stepping into more prominent positions off the court, appearing in interviews with Visit Phoenix, and even engaging in spiritual discussions with Pastor Travis Hearn. Fans have the opportunity to witness more of her character, morals, self-assurance, and humor throughout these visits. However, Sophie skirted around the unavoidable inquiries about her private life as if she were avoiding a defender. Nothing to encourage conjecture, no clues, no subtle slips. She seemed to have mastered the art of responding to every question fans had, with the exception of one. This silence has given rise to several ideas. Some people think Cunningham has made the decision to be unmarried in order to focus on her professional and personal development. Others are certain that she is in a relationship, but she has made the decision to zealously guard it, keeping her partner out of the public view. Some even claim that she likes the game of mystery itself, letting her audience guess while she stealthily manages the story. Regardless of the facts, one thing is certain. Sophie Cunningham has made the decision to let her story be defined by her game rather of her emotions. Her choice to put privacy first makes her stand out even more in a world of sports where athletes' romantic relationships frequently overshadow their careers. Fans are captivated not just by her defensive grip and jump shoots but also by the unsolved mysteries surrounding her life off the court. For a person of her caliber, it's incredible to watch her balance parenting with her athletic career. Is it because of her tenacity on the court? Let's now take a look at Sophie Cunningham, the tenacious warrior who never gave up. You must first understand Sophie Cunningham's story in order to comprehend why this news hit fans like a blow to the belly. Her story isn't one of quick fame or simple triumphs. She hasn't received anything regarding her ascent. From the beginning, she wasn't the golden child destined for greatness. Rather, she used tenacity, perspiration, and a burning desire that still drives her every step to claw her way into the spotlight. Sophie was more than just a basketball player at the University of Missouri. She turned the arena into her platform. She became well known and solidified her status as one of the school's all-time greats by averaging over 20 points a game. However, her influence extended beyond the stat sheet. Her brave, unreserved, and fiercely competitive demeanor caught the attention of her admirers. Her excitement was evident each time she took the court. "Nobody is forcing me to go because I belong here." During her collegiate career, that kind of edge transformed her from just another prolific scorer into a leader, a spark, and, to many, the soul of Missouri basketball. However, Sophie was aware that the transition to the professional stage is harsh. Few people thought she would last when the Phoenix Mercury took her in the second round of the 2019 WNBA draft. History demonstrates that second-round selections are long shots. Few make it through training camp, and even fewer go on to have successful careers. Sophie has always enjoyed disproving others, even when the doubts followed her like vultures. By her second year, she had changed the story of her rookie season, which was a struggle for survival. She was glowing, not just getting by. Sophie established herself as the Mercury's heartbeat with lethal accuracy from beyond the arc, unwavering defense, and a passion that appeared to boost the energy of her entire team. Her notoriety got louder and her game sharper. She was no longer the disregarded second-round pick. Instead, she was the player you wanted on your team when things got rough. However, Sophie's appeal transcends basketball's rules and regulations. Her genuineness is what really ties her admirers to her. She doesn't strive to be flawless, and she isn't. She doesn't hide behind practice soundbites or speak in robotic media cliches. Rather, she seems as herself, unadulterated, authentic, and unreservedly human. Sophie connects people with her quips on social media, her openness about her problems, and her teammates' laughter. She is the type of athlete that serves as a reminder to supporters that beneath the jersey and highlight videos is a real person who shares their emotions, struggles, and aspirations. Her straightforward act of reaching out, such as the sincere phone call she made to Caitlin Clark, has such a profound impact because of this. Fans are aware that Sophie doesn't use a PR machine to censor what she says or shares. It comes from the heart and is sincere. She stands out even more in today's sports world, where branding frequently obscures genuineness. Sophie Cunningham is more than just a player. She is a tale of tenacity, sincerity, and kinship. Because of this, news about her, whether positive or negative, always seems to hit in a distinct way. Why Caitlin Clark was her first choice has been questioned by some people. What is it about Caitlin Clark? Do they have some sort of strange connection? Let's investigate. A respect-based friendship. Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark appear to be very different from one another. Fresh-faced rookie Caitlin stormed into the WNBA, breaking records, attracting huge audiences, and garnering the kind of media attention that women's basketball had hardly seen. She was praised as a player with generational skill who might help shape the future of the league. Sophie, on the other hand, used tenacity and grit to forge her own route. Her career as a seasoned guard who had played for the Phoenix Mercury for many years wasn't marked by excitement or immediate success. She worked hard, adjusted to any function the team needed, and repeatedly proved herself to those who didn't think she belonged in order to build her career the hard way. However, basketball has the ability to unite those who seem to be at opposing extremes of the spectrum. Their first significant encounter took place during USA basketball training camps, where players of all skill levels congregate, rather than during a contentious WNBA game. The seed of respect for one another sprouted in that climate of rivalry and camaraderie. Sophie saw right away that Caitlin was more than simply a teenage athlete enjoying media attention. She was a once-in-a-generation talent, the real deal. For her part, Caitlin witnessed more than just Sophie's tenacity on the court. She respected the tenacity required to endure in a league where roster positions are ephemeral and nothing is certain. In professional sports, where competition is intense and egos occasionally collide, fans rarely anticipate the camaraderie that developed between Tatibi and them instead of hostility. Caitlyn's abrupt ascent and the attention she attracted did not frighten Sophie. Rather, she became one of her loudest fans by leaning into it. She applauded as Caitlyn broke records, embraced the limelight, and infused the league with new vitality. Sophie was not envious of Caitlyn's achievements. Because it improved women's basketball overall, it was cause for celebration. Additionally, Caitlyn never regarded Sophie like a supporting character in her story, even if she was the new star. She treasured her presence as more than just another veteran filling minutes, paid attention to her counsel, and respected her experience. Sophie's voice offered perspective and stability for a rookie throughout a hectic inaugural season. When Sophie shared news that would change her life, it became evident how close they were. She had the option of telling her family, teammates, or close friends, but she decided to tell Caitlyn instead. It was a brief window into the kind of relationship they had developed that went beyond rivalries, standings, and jerseys. Fans found the moment poignant because it showed vulnerability, which is uncommon in professional sports. Beneath the intense rivalry, the bright lights, and the ongoing scrutiny, two women were just being friends. It had nothing to do with star versus role player, rookie versus experienced, or fever versus temperature. It was about respect, connection, and the human element of a game that is all too frequently reduced to statistics and headlines. Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham reminded everyone that basketball is more than just a sport at that precise time. It's a bridge that can unite seemingly incompatible individuals who discover joy, strength, and support in one another. It has never been easy for athletes to deal with parenting. What does this moment represent for women's sports, even though Sophie appears to be at the top of her game? Let's investigate. Why did this moment resonate so strongly with supporters outside of the court? Because it revealed something much bigger than the actual game. Women's basketball has always had a deeper significance beneath the surface of scores, statistics, and highlights. It's about perseverance, identity, and rewriting stories that society previously attempted to restrict. For many years, female athletes were advised they had to choose between pursuing a career or starting a family, embracing personal fulfillment or aiming for professional excellence. However, times are shifting. Players like Sophie are demonstrating that you can, in fact, hold both ambitions in your hands through changing cultural perceptions, more inclusive legislation, and a louder demand for equality. Additionally, it wasn't a distraction when she revealed her personal news. It evolved to represent development and advancement, and of the significance of women being permitted to live as complete human beings rather than merely athletes. Sophie's story wasn't the only one. It belonged to Caitlyn as well. Participating in her teammates' adventure revealed a different aspect of Caitlyn.